Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. It's the Manson Brothers Show. I'm here. I'm your host. 3/4 of the world's greatest tag team of all time, the World Tag Team Champions of the world, the Manson Brothers. I'm your buddy, Stone Manson. This is my bro. Older bro, uglier bro, dumber bro, lovelier bro, though. God love him. Skull Manson.
That's me.
He's got the soup hat on today.
That's a derby.
It's a soup hat. Bowler hat. Get a bowler of soup with that hat. Hey, this week, what are we talking about? We're talking about a great movie, one of the low-budget kings of horror filmmaking, Don Coscarelli, and his classic,
Phantasm.
Phantasm.
You know what I like about this movie? Looking back in retrospect, in 1979, when this movie came out.
That's too much information because we're doing a 30-second intro. We're going to tell you all about that when we come back. Be right back.
What are we doing?
20 minutes, seesaw, a bunch of false tags, double DQ, you know the routine.
Great! And we can blow this shit all, go get soaked.
Stop me when I'm trying to talk.
Quit interrupting my goddamn intro.
I think you're the boss of me.
I am the boss of you. You wouldn't have a nickel to your name if it wasn't for me. And don't talk to dad. Talk to mom.
Oh,
that's
no,
exactly
I'm
right.
calling dad.
We're back. We're talking Phantasm. We're talking Tall Man. We're talking, there's a lot of good looking broads in this movie. Chicks, I meant women. Sorry. This is a classic that not a lot of people, I'm going to assume everybody's seen this. If you're watching, if you haven't,
you need to
hit that pause button, hit subscribe, go watch the movie Phantasm. This thing is out there.
Well, like I was compostulating about before, when this movie came out in 1979,
that is not a word.
It came out the same week as Dawn of the Dead, or if it didn't, it was real close because on Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert's show, they reviewed both of them that same day.
No kidding.
They liked Dawn of the Dead. They did not like Phantasm, as I recall.
I can't believe they liked either. These guys were not horror guys.
Well, I'll tell you, when I saw the clips of that, though, it was creepy. It scared me as a kid.
Well, I got to tell you, I agree. I mean, I think it actually scared me more than Dawn of the Dead.
100%.
Although, I mean, I would watch Dawn of the Dead again first.
Right. Dawn of the Dead was a better movie. I love Phantasm. Dawn of the Dead's a better movie, but Phantasm did scare me.
Way creepier movie.
Yeah, man.
It was elements of it, and interestingly, you know, he does such a great job taking these minimalistic things and making them
big,
spooky.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like even let's start with Angus Scrimm, the tall man. Right.
He's
the tall man. He's nothing more than a tall guy with a terrible haircut. You know, he looks like
the way they make him move.
He looks like that guy in the paint can, right?
Yeah.
The Dutch boy or whatever.
Boy.
Only a tall version. But he is so freaking spooky. It is unbelievable.
And I ran into him one time at a horror convention. I didn't get a chance to talk to him, but my buddy told me he was just an absolute gentleman. Just absolute nice.
He made a living.
Some of them aren't.
And some of us are.
And some of
us are so cool that we save the world.
Right.
And don't get any credit for it.
And if you want to find out about that, you can watch the Manson Brothers Midnight Zombie Massacre, available on Blu-ray and DVD. Blu-ray and DVD.
Can do that.
And you can stream it too. Knuckleheads. You can stream it on your Amazon. You can stream it on your iTunes. You can stream it on your Tubies.
Believe it or not, this is how we make a living. And it's, you know,
right.
I mean, if you want to call
the
it
alternative is being
we invented the term eking out a living.
Yes, we did. Anyway.
Thank God we're sponsored by Old Granddad.
Oh,
thanks, Old Granddad, for all the free booze.
Thanks, Old Granddad. Thanks for all the time you took me fishing. Carlos, let's go fishing.
It's not that Old Granddad. It's not Abuelo, you knucklehead. Anyway.
You're just mad because they named me after him. Anyway.
Back to Phantasm.
So the movie is scary. And here's another reason it's scarier than Dawn of the Dead, in my opinion. Dawn of the Dead makes sense.
Yeah.
Like all the rules are laid out. Right. All the rules are laid out. Phantasm makes no sense, but
rule book out the window.
But that doesn't mean it's a bad thing in this movie, because to me, the not knowing why everything was happening and exactly what was happening was even scarier. You have no idea what's happening or why.
Anytime you combine a creepy tall guy with a bunch of little Ewok dudes that look like miniature monks,
you got a party there,
you know, with yellow blood.
Yeah, right? Remember that.
You've got this kind of omnipresent sphere
Oh,
Just
let's get
making
into
its way
that.
through the mausoleum. That, oh, by the way, has a multitude of ways to kill you.
Yeah.
And one of them being that it attaches itself to your head and then bores its way into your head and spits the blood and presumably the gray matter, which in your case would just be blood,
I'd probably be okay then.
back out the other side. A, who cleans that up? B,
Well, that Morty the janitor, isn't he the guy that got it in the head? So wasn't he the
was.
guy?
So
Yeah.
there's no one to clean it up. That's my
Exactly.
point.
And by the way,
Someone bring a hazmat
mausoleums-
suit because that's dangerous, right?
mausoleums generally not that creepy. Like graveyards are creepy.
Yeah, they're
right?
so uncreepy that they just made a horror movie called Mausoleum.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, they're not creepy at all.
Well,
It's,
maybe
just it's a big building full of dead people.
Well, perhaps
That's not creepy.
Perhaps I'm amiss.
Yeah,
But anyway, he makes it look
you're
really
on
creepy,
something.
even though it's very bright. I think is my point. It's a very bright set, but he still makes it scary by the use of the cameras and how the actors move.
Oh, actor movement always a creepy function of the film industry. Yeah. Let's go back to
Angus
the
Scrimm, yeah.
You know
so
what?
he can't. What's the creepiest part in the movie for you? Because I bet you it's different from mine.
Well, I can't blow it because it's the end for me. So I'm gonna.
Oh, is that yours?
Yeah. I would say that I think the creepy moment is kind of at the beginning when you see the tall man lugging a casket all by himself.
That's pretty creepy. Then
And
then
throwing
you
it back into the
know,
hearse.
That's when you're like, okay,
Something's up with this.
something's
dude.
up with this guy.
Right,
He's
right.
not just a tall old man.
You know, I'd like to draw an analogy here. I'm kind of shocked. Now, I think if this movie would have taken place in like 1987,
it would have been campy.
Vince McMahon would have had a tall man, which he kind of had with The Undertaker, right?
Yeah,
He would have had an Angus Scrimm like character.
yeah.
Because
Oh, you think he would have bit it from the movie?
1
and
million
put it-
percent.
oh, I 100% think
1 million
so.
percent. He tried to do it with who was the guy that? Oh my God, he played Waylon Mercy. Remember Waylon Mercy?
No.
Who was based off of Cape Fear?
Oh, yeah. You're talking about Steve Kern? Was that Steve Kern?
No, it was not Steve Kern.
No.
It was Danny Spivey.
Oh,
Was Waylon Mercy. And that was
Spivey.
such an awesome gimmick. Such an awesome gimmick. And if we hadn't already done gimmick, I'd use that
We
as the
did
wrestling term
already.
of the day, but we already did it.
If you didn't see it yet, you will.
Vince McMahon would have absolutely had an Angus Scrimm.
Wait a
Tony
minute.
character.
So that's okay. So you're not gonna say, but that's a cool, creepy part. My creepy part may not be creepy to other people, but it is to me. At the
Okay.
beginning of the movie, he goes to some chick's house. I don't know if it's his girlfriend or the kid.
Yeah.
And she goes to I think it's her grandmother is blind and is like, she's like, put your hand in the box. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
She's like, put your hand in the box. And he puts his hand in the box and whap, man, he can't get it out. That creeped me out so bad.
Well, there's a lot.
But basically, because our mother loves gypsies and she was always taking us to these psychics and whatnot when we were kids. So,
Speaking of
but
creepy
anyway,
parts
it
of
is
the movie,
very creepy.
that was extremely. Again, there's a ton of creepy parts. The little guys with the hoods are
Oh.
crazy creepy.
They scare the shit out of me, man.
The embalming fluid blood.
Because they look weird. Their hoods
Way
come off and
creepy.
they look all weird.
So I would say my other creepy part of the movie is when he's trucking away from the tall man. You know, he's in the mausoleum,
Yeah.
running down the hall, and he slams the door shut, and he's like, and you just hear this.
Yeah.
And he looks back up, and it's the fingers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he lops one of those fingers off. It's nothing but yellow embalming
Yeah.
fluid blood, and he puts it in a little case, and then he takes off home.
It's a cool part. I forgot about that too with the hand and a
Yeah,
knocking.
oh,
That's
man.
really creepy,
That
man.
part is crazy creepy. But
Ah,
that brings us to today's viewer email.
let's hit it.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna let you read today's viewer
Oh,
email.
okay. This comes from Jay from South Dakota, probably near Sturgis, huh, Jay? All right. The email says, would you still fuck the broad at the beginning if you knew it was the tall man, but it still looked like the broad?
Wow.
By the way, I'm reading this.
These are viewer emails. We read them verbatim. Every now and then we
ladies-
try to take some.
I would never speak to
Yeah,
broads.
we
like
wouldn't
that.
use the term broad.
No.
I think I said it at the beginning.
Yeah.
I wouldn't use it regularly.
Okay.
So I think what Jay,
copulate. I think he means the copulation.
I think what Jay is trying to ask us from Jay.
Would you
South
still have
Dakota,
relations with the beautiful girl if you knew it was really the tall man?
Let's tell how the story goes. In the beginning of the movie, Jody, who's the good-looking older brother,
Right.
is
The one with the Cuda.
Yeah,
We're going to talk about that
And
later.
Jody he's over, dude. Over with the ladies.
Big over.
So over that he's getting it on with a
With
girl
some-
in a cemetery.
We just think it's some blonde girl.
Yeah. And
who's
she's
with-
hot. She's
Yeah.
hot.
Yeah.
Turns out she kills him in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And she turns into the tall man.
Yeah.
So I think what Jay's trying to ask is, if you came across that same hot chick,
But you knew it was the tall man,
but she was hot.
but looked like the girl, and you could be
My-
with her while she was the girl and not the tall man, would you still do it armed with that knowledge? Right? Did I get that correct,
am I
Jay?
going to die at the end?
You might. But you
I-
go out
I
happy.
need a yes or no.
I'm a no on that one.
Then yes,
Yeah.
I'm going to do it. Absolutely.
He would
100%.
100%. He would 100% do it.
Yeah.
100%. He'd stick his
150%.
He'd stick his femradum in a wood pile if he thought there was a snake in it.
That's not true.
100%. 100%. But back to the movie.
Hot chick's a hot chick.
Back to the
Well,
movie.
do you have an answer?
I said no.
You wouldn't.
I would
If
not.
you knew it was. If you knew you weren't going to die,
No.
but that it was the tall man.
That was like our Uncle Sally, remember? He was like,
Our Uncle Sally did not look like that chick.
he tried.
He tried, but he didn't.
So anyway,
Sally.
back to
Moving
that's
right
another
along.
family thing we could talk about
this
later.
movie introduced us
Our
to
father's brother.
a very kind of iconically cool backup lead character, who I would contend is actually the lead in this, which
Does
is
Reggie Bannister?
which is Reggie Bannister's
Yeah,
character.
I think so.
And as you remember, Reggie Bannister in the first movie is an ice cream man.
Yeah, he's kind of like the Obi-Wan Kenobi of
Right.
Phantasm.
With the world's worst hairdo of all time. He's got
Guys,
the bozo
just
thing going.
from a bald guy, let me just say,
Yeah, let's
when you
let's
go
stop for a quick
bald,
PSA.
shave your head. Don't grow your stupid half a ponytail out into a ponytail and kid yourself that it looks okay.
That is not long hair.
No.
Take it from a guy with absolutely gorgeous hair. And legs.
Okay, mom's,
Um,
dad's hairline.
You know, listen, if I didn't have it, I would concede as well in going to not having it. Just trying to get the ponytail.
I
out,
like
the bozo
being bald.
thing.
I've been bald since sophomore year of
You
high
know what you're better off doing? Grow your beard out and put that into a braided thing. or
Oh,
something.
I
That's a
might
lot more
do
unique.
that. I might do that.
However,
Well, we could talk about beards and stuff later
Yes.
on. But right now, back
Reggie
to
Bannister,
Phantasm.
became an icon from Phantasm.
He did.
He's and he went on to do.
I
many
would
other
argue.
Phantasm movies.
I would argue second only to Angus Scrimm. Because
I hear me out on this. I would contend Reggie Bannister, bigger star than Angus Scrimm, in the sense that he was capable of doing more films than just Phantasm, where Angus Scrimm was kind of
yeah, he was sort of
pigeonholed into being.
yeah.
the top.
He was in a couple other things I understand.
Yeah.
Where he played like a normal character.
I once got extremely intoxicated with Reggie Bannister.
Who haven't you gotten extremely intoxicated with aside from me?
In the Valley, I was in the Valley one time, San Fernando Valley, with Reggie Bannister. Did you
Mhm.
know he's a musician?
I did.
You did?
I did.
Well,
So was the guy that played the older brother.
to call him a musician would be, and no offense, Reggie, I love you. I had a great time. I got a CD of his works, and
Good.
good would be a stretch.
Not very good.
That might be reaching a little bit still.
Shitty.
Stricken from the annals of recording.
Yeah.
That's where I'd put it. Anyway, so Reggie, love you as an actor. Great Phantasm guy. I'm no musician, so I shouldn't talk, but man, dude, you
We
know,
don't know nothing about
stick to
music.
playing the acoustic for chicks and stuff like that. So
So you would argue that he's a bigger star than Angus Scrimm. In the movie,
100%. I mean, he's not as recognizable.
but I would
like-
say he is though because of that look. See,
Because,
it's
because of the bald ponytail.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
so. I mean, I saw him one time at a convention, walking through the crowd, and I knew right away who he was, like instantly.
And listen,
instantly.
there's nothing badass about Reggie Bannister, but
That's why he's a cool character.
he plays a cool badass character
because
in
he
the
won't.
Phantasm
He's
movie.
a man of action. He
Right.
doesn't appear to be a man of action,
Right.
but he is a man of action, and he is the hero of the movies. The other two
Yeah.
characters are not.
They're kind of puds,
Right. It's
you
the
know?
movie is about the kid. It's just like
Right.
Star Wars. Who's a bigger character, Luke Skywalker or Han Solo? He's the Han Solo
Yeah,
of
yeah,
Phantasm. I said he was the Obi-Wan Kenobi, but really, he's the Han Solo. If you think about it, he's the man of action.
He's the Han Solo of Phantasm, for
That's
sure. Plus,
right.
he takes over the Hemi Cuda.
Yeah.
He in the second one, he winds up with that badass shotgun.
Yeah, with the four
know,
barrels.
He does correct me if I'm wrong, but Reggie's the one who blows the sphere out of the sky with the shotgun.
Absolutely, in the movie. So he's a badass. Now let's talk about that Cuda. The Cuda
That
from
car.
Dodge,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Possibly the coolest muscle car
If you like muscle cars,
ever.
yeah.
The Cuda.
The Barracuda.
Yeah, if you like muscle cars, early 70s muscle cars, that's your car.
So
the Cuda.
if you owned the Hemi Cuda,
Yeah.
and you were driving it, what music would you play while driving that car?
Oh,
Presumably squealing with those wide ass tires.
without a doubt, Black Dog by Led Zeppelin.
Wow. That's a good choice. I would go with either Slow Ride by Foghat or this is tough. That would be a great song with that. Slow Ride.
Yeah. They don't make cool cars no more.
No, but early Van Halen would be great too.
Yeah, like maybe Running with the Devil.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. That'd be a good one. You know what I wouldn't play? James Taylor.
Yeah, I wouldn't play that either.
No.
Fire and Rain.
No.
Can you picture that while you're
No,
trying to?
because here's what I'd be doing: hanging myself from the fucking interior light.
That was the omen. Yeah, don't.
Guy.
So
Did you
guys-
know? Wait a minute. Interesting factoid. Did you know that James Taylor has killed more people than Stalin? Do you know that? You know how he bores them to death?
he had a really bad heroin problem too.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't wish him no ill will. Just stop making music. What you ever call it.
Also bald.
Also,
And
right.
and for a long time went with the Reggie Bannister bald look.
He did. And then
an
finally,
interesting
I guess
segue.
these guys, they
Which,
get older up, they're like,
again,
yeah, you
terrible look.
know.
Just absolutely terrible.
Keep it closer, take it off.
Do one or the other. Make a commitment. For
I
God's
don't
sake.
wear a hat because I'm ashamed to be bald.
I don't like to
wear a
commit to
hat because I
anything.
like hats.
But when it comes to hair, you've got to commit. That's kind of the deal, right?
Well, you do anything, you got to
No,
commit.
that hat makes you look like Walter White from Breaking Bad. Kind of.
Really?
Too bad. It's too bad you can't make meth.
Ma said I look like Bluto. You look,
you kind of look like Bluto.
You look like the Popeye, the Bluto. Bluto. You look like the Bluto, Carlos. Then screaming at me so fast and blah, blah, blah. I don't know what the hell she's saying. You understand that
Blow
shit.
me down.
You can't just talk American,
Again,
Ma.
Spanish accent. Mom spoke Spanish.
Mom's
She's
Spanish.
Mexican.
Yeah.
How many
okay.
times we got to go over this?
Whatever. You know. what
Speaking
you're
of
talking about.
Spanish accents,
Dad told me you were full of shit.
who's hotter, Salma Hayek or the other one who's in the movie with Johnny Depp?
Penelope Cruz.
Yeah.
Is it Penelope Cruz?
Penelope.
I'm going with Salma Hayek.
It's pretty hot.
Yep.
I can see her having a unibrow and getting kind of.
No, she's a little
Penelope
older now.
Cruz.
She's still hot. Did you see her in the Marvel film?
Mm-mm.
Whoa, beautiful woman. Beautiful.
I marvel every day at pictures. of her.
Salma, if you see this, just write it. I wanna know
Penelope,
which
if
one
you
of
see
us?
this,
Come on. You like to be protected.
this guy,
Yeah.
and our mom.
You like
we
cartoons?
We're half Mexican. I don't know
I'm
what
your
nationality
guy.
you guys are, but
I'm your
know,
guy.
we got a little Latino in us,
Cartoons.
and you can too. Back to Phantasm.
All right, fine. Enough of celebrating our Hispanic heritage.
Let's talk about the sphere.
Yeah.
What do we call it? We were talking about. how,
I always just called it the baseball, but
it's not a baseball.
no, it's not. But it's about the same size.
That would have been kick ass though if somebody would have had a bat,
Yeah.
like a Mike or Reggie would have had a bat.
Did they not do that in one of the movies?
Boom.
I mean, nobody thought of it. I know they hit the shotgun thing. That was cool. But yeah, why
Shotgun thing
wouldn't
was
it?
cool.
Like, why didn't they? Maybe they couldn't make the effect work.
If it was a wooden bat, maybe the little fucker would have bored his
Yeah.
little things into
It's
it.
stuck
and
in
then worked
That
his
would have
way
been
through.
cool.
Doesn't
I
he
think
at
they
one point in
pro-
time worm his way through somebody's chest?
Yeah, I think so.
Like he's got a drill.
Yeah.
Also.
He finds it in something. He finds it embedded in
Much like Batman's utility belt. How
Yeah.
much shit can you possibly fit into one sphere?
Well, it comes from the other dimension, so who knows what's in there?
So
Like
that's
maybe
your
it's
thing.
like Doctor Who's thing.
Speaking of
The
dimensions,
tortoise.
the premise of the little
TARDIS.
Ewok guys, right?
Yeah.
Were those the
Compacted bodies.
of
So of
people
dead
who
people,
passed, right?
right? So they reanimated the bodies.
so Mike's mom and
And they
dad were in there at some point in time?
yeah,
were they
yeah,
not?
that's right, exactly.
Yeah.
They crush them down into these little into these little beings.
How compacted
Real
were they?
scary.
Are
They're
they
about 3 feet
like
tall.
that tall?
No, they were like 2 or 3 feet tall, real short.
So you shouldn't really be scared of them.
But they look scary and they're vicious, man. They're like Jawas on acid.
Yeah, but okay, so let's think about that.
I mean, defend the Jawa people.
Let's say what do we say they weigh? Like 70 pounds? 60
yeah,
pounds?
no more than that because they would actually be the same weight. So
Well,
if
they're
you were
not
180 pounds
compacted.
and you got squished down,
Well, they're
you'd
not
weigh the
this way.
same.
They get squished down.
But
and
it's
they're
the
this
same
way.
amount of stuff.
That's
It would weigh the
bullshit.
same.
That is not the case. They're maybe 70 pounds. So
Listen,
I'm going to ask you, if a 70-pound guy
my
came after
friend
you,
Bert, who happens to be the world's tallest midget, told me that it doesn't matter.
I'm going to ask you a question.
You ask Bert.
If a 70-pound guy came after you,
Let me get a pen.
you don't. There's no math in this.
Oh.
If a 70-pound guy came after you,
Uh-huh.
would you be like, "Oh no, 70-pound guy," or would you laugh your ass off and beat the living shit out of him?
Let that ass off.
Then why are you scared of these little Ewok guys?
Because they got funny faces. They're like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." It's really scary,
So just
man.
because they make a funny noise, you're scared?
No, and they like had these weird, dark, hairy, burnty heads. They were scary, man. Scary.
I'm going to talk about the finger.
No, not the finger.
I am going to talk about the finger. Not the one that, well, anyway, the finger that gets cut off and put in the box.
Yeah.
That eventually, one of the creepier moments in the movie, metamorphosizes into
This
whatever.
weird bat creature thing.
It was
weird.
like a fly combined.
Yeah, it
with
was a
cricket,
fly, and then
combined
it was
with a
something
bat.
else.
I think it had
weird.
teeth.
He finally gets it down to disposal, right?
Yeah.
That's the deal. Yeah.
Super kick-ass.
Really
moment of the
cool.
movie. And he's
But I'm
dragging
going to
around
put
with
a
it.
challenge to you audience members right
doesn't he
now.
grab it in his jacket?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
jams it in the
Right. It's like
garbage disposal?
flying all over.
Nah.
It's such a cool movie. It really is. But here's a challenge to you viewers. Should you be some? I hope you are.
If you
Many.
are up to said challenge,
Yeah.
viewers.
I challenge you to tell me what the hell that movie's about because I can't figure it out.
Well, I think that's an excellent point. That brings us to watch the movie Phantasm. It's great. You've got to suspend obviously a little bit of belief, just
Big
like you do
time.
with every horror movie. But if someone can kind of piece together the trail of what in the holy shit is going on in this film, I would love to know about it. And that brings us to the end of this movie, which is probably the most iconic part of it.
I think so. That
We
and then
get
when
Mike.
the baseball hits the guy in the head.
He feels like he's beaten the tall man.
Right.
He's gotten over on the tall man. He and Reggie are still around.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's good. He gets back to the house. And by the way, that house was creepy. Like just
It was like
a
an
lot of
old.
shit happened at the
Yeah,
house.
it looked like an old antebellum house or something.
But it had like
was
open
weird.
staircase. It was kind of weird.
Yeah, it was weird.
But we get the scene where he's finally got the moment to take a breath, right? And again, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, this is going to ruin it for you because this is the moment. So
Shut it off, watch the
pause.
movie, and come back.
We get the moment. He goes into his bedroom. The door shuts. He stands with his back to the door, which has a mirror.
Yep.
And you see the tall man.
Yeah.
His arms come through and drag him.
And then it gets smashes to black. Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
one would
Whew.
think that at that point, all is lost. And you could never in a million years have a sequel in this movie.
Yet
However,
we've had a
because
bunch.
it made money and seemed franchisable, if that's a term, with the tall man, we get
cheesy.
Phantasm 2, which at one point in time we will talk about as well.
Yeah.
Very good movie.
Made a lot of stuff. It made icons out of those people. I would contend. So did we talk about Dawn of the Dead and them coming at the same time?
We did, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I would contend it's a scarier movie than Dawn of the Dead.
It is. Yeah, 100%.
And
It's not a
precisely for
better
what I
movie.
said before, because you don't know what the hell is going on.
Right. It's not a better movie.
No. I
But
just think it's a scarier movie.
One,
It's
absolutely.
a scarier movie.
They're two completely different types
Right.
of horror
It's
movies.
like it's like comparing apples to
One
apples.
is a shock value film. The other is a genuinely creepy, weird ass movie that you do not know what's
And
happening.
God, but you know, the imaginations on these guys to think of some of this stuff, it's cool, man. Like a baseball that flies, a ball that flies around and drills through people's heads and shit. That's a cool idea, Don. Hats off to you.
What if you had your hat on and it hit you in the brim? You think it wouldn't be able to get the drill to your forehead?
This hat? No.
Any hat with a brim.
Nah, it's a good made American hat.
It is time to take it home. How much more can we say about Phantasm? I could talk about this all weekend.
Should be in your collection if
Such a
it's
great
not.
movie.
Don
If you haven't seen
Coscarelli, great director. Keep doing stuff.
You gotta see it, man. It's so good. Take us home, man. Tell the people what's up.
All right, you can go to mansonbrothers.com. You can get yourself some merchandise, a nice t-shirt with has a funny saying on the back, one of these ducky hats, our Blu-ray, of course, but it's also available on Amazon.com. You can also get a couple of autographed pictures, and we'll sign anything, even
Whether
if
you
you
like it or
don't
not.
want us to. You know why? Because that's the kind of guys we are.
Damn straight. Keep in mind, we're fully endorsed by the Tarman, also by Jimmy Page, and by the Duke. He loves us.
Can you get any better than that, folks? I asked you.
We got a bottle of his whiskey right outside, which I'm going to need a refill. So we got to get the hell out of here.
Nobody disrespects the Duke.
Never trust a big butt and a smile. Until next week.
See you later,
We
shitty
are out.
pants.